This is the Orioles POSTCAST, your instant game reaction for the Baltimore Orioles. Part of the Locked On Podcast Network, your team every day.
Had been 328 days since the Baltimore Orioles' last walk-off win. September 19th, Anthony Santander home run against the San Francisco Giants. And tonight, the wait is over. The drought is over. The Baltimore Orioles on a night where they snap a 17-inning scoreless streak, a drought at the plate. The O's take this one in the bottom of the ninth from the Seattle Mariners. The final score, 4-3. Hello, welcome live to YouTube. This is the Baltimore Orioles Postcast. I'm Luke. I'm the post-game show host here exclusively on Locked On Orioles, part of the Locked On Podcast Network, complement bonus content to Connor Newcomb's 5-day-a-week show. Connor will be here in the morning. He's probably taping his episode right now, probably trying to get some sleep. And this game was delayed 100 minutes by rain on the East Coast. But the Orioles finally do it thanks to the heroics of Jackson Holliday.
Time to reveal where the game was won or lost. It's the turning point.
And for all the barking that we've done at the Orioles for coming up short with 2 outs, not refining their approach, elongated swings, rolling over on things, this is, in a microcosm, what you want your approach to be against a lockdown team like the Mariners, a team that's competing for a division and for the pennant. Bottom of the ninth, 2 outs. Right-hander Matt Brash on the mound. Dylan Carlson up at the plate. He was hitting a $184 coming into this plate appearance, had a single already on the night. Takes the first 2 pitches that are way out of the zone. It's 2-0. Takes the next 2, evens it up. Swinging through a 96-mile-an-hour fastball for one of them. Takes a ball on the outside, slider that's tailing away at 85 miles an hour. And then 3-2 pitch, 95 in on the hands, 4-seam fastball. He hits it to right field, and all of a sudden you got life at the plate with 2 outs, winning run on first base. Carlson's, kind of a plus runner. He was originally a 5-tool prospect when drafted by the St. Louis Cardinals, long time ago it seems. And leave to Jackson Holliday, 2 outs, rookie. Not a rookie, excuse me, but 21 years old, so might as well be, right? Nephew of Josh Holliday, son of Matt Holliday. You know how it is. Second baseman who's really looking to break through at the plate, OPSing under 700. Swings through a slider that's in on him. Then 2 pitches on the outside of the zone. Looks changeup, looks sinker. 2-seam fastball not doing it at 97. He's sitting breaking ball, and he gets a slider. Low, middle part of the zone, 84 miles an hour. He's a little bit out in front of it, sure, but that's exactly when you want the bat head to drop. Get it down the right field line into the corner, and that's exactly what he does. Dylan Carlson races around third. Great base running. He scores. It's a walk-off double for the Orioles. Jackson Holliday with his first Major League walk-off hit. Final score, 4-3. And that may as well have been the story of the game. However, who decided this game early on? Who was nails? Who has been a rock for the Orioles in these trying times? It's Southpaw Trevor Rogers. He deserved to win this game.
This is what you'll be talking about.
Kind of like playing a broken record at this point, right? Trevor Rogers has been everything that you could ask for. And really just, they put a stat up on Masson tonight. This was his 9th consecutive start of 2 earned runs or fewer. Milt Pappas had 10 in 1964. That is a name from yesteryear. And for Trevor Rogers to outduel Logan Gilbert, who himself is having a great season in the mid-3s for ERA, the bottom line is this. Trevor Rogers is the most improved pitcher in baseball. We'll get to that in the second block. However, from Jump Street, you saw Trevor Rogers at his prime. A 6-pitch first inning, really good barehanded play by Jordan Westberg on Randy Arozarena, 3-pitch out to start the inning. Good play by Westberg over there at third. Top of the second, gets Mitch Garver to swing and miss at a changeup that's tailing low and in. Got Jorge Polanco out after a 10-pitch at-bat. got him to get a slider low, hit it to Gunnar Henderson. Top of the third, strikes out Dylan Moore on a foul tip, fastball riding at 93. We see that velo consistently getting better, or at least better than it was a season ago for Rogers. Strikes out Randy Arozarena on 3 pitches. That changeup, that dastardly changeup with some dip and some depth on it. And then he gets Cal Raleigh to ground out to Jordan Westberg on the changeup. Raleigh, by the way, the major league home run leader right now, 0 for 8 in this series. Props to Dean Kramer and Trevor Rogers for pitching their behinds off and getting the most deadly hitter in baseball out. Couple of 1, 2, 3 innings in the 4th and the 5th. Got J.P. Crawford looking on a sinker on the edge, that fastball. He's getting the call. The only problem that Rogers jumps into is the top of the 7th. 8-pitch at-bat by Julio Rodriguez to lead off the inning. Really good 5-tool player Rodriguez is signed to that big extension a couple years ago after his rookie season. It's an 0-2 count, 8th pitch of the at-bat. It's a changeup at 86 miles an hour at the shins. And we've seen this the last couple of games. The Mariners are not afraid to go down and put the bat head there. They think they can get some leverage on an off-speed pitch. Can't do that against a heater when it's in the dirt like that or anything that's skipped in front of the zone. However, curveball, changeup, occasionally a slurve or sweeper of some kind, and it's hit to center field. Top of the 7th inning, it would be Greg Allen out there playing, or excuse me, Daniel Johnson playing out there. And one of his first plays off the wall at Camden Yards in his major league career. And if Cedric Mullins had been out there, he's going to pull up a little bit short, get square to the wall, and play it off the bounce, limit Rodriguez to a double. I think the average major league hitter and base runner pulls up at second there. However, this caroms off the wall and ends up being Dylan Carlson shading over from left field who picks up that ball and relays it in. Rodriguez, with his speed, gets a triple. Infield's then pulled in, scoreless ball game. Josh Naylor, first pitch sinker, 92 miles an hour, high and tight, hits it past Jackson Holliday at second. There's not enough reaction time there for Holliday to get it. He did try to backhand it, missed it by a hair. Ideally, you would knock that ball down, be square to the ball. However, single's a single in the box score. It's quickly 1-0. And that's all that Trevor Rogers would give up. The final line, as his ERA drops to 1.43, just a 100th of a point. 7 innings pitched, 1 earned run, 4 hits, 6 Ks, and no walks. He was nails. Coming up, we're going to talk about the offensive side of the ball. We will award our player of the game. And look ahead to the rubber game tomorrow. That's a 105 first pitch on Masson 2, and I look forward to talking about it all with you. If you haven't already put your votes in for player of the game, it's, we haven't had a win in a long time, or at least one that was this dramatic. We could share it. We can do that. This is my show. These are my rules. This is the Locked On Orioles postcast. Stick with us. Ideally, it would be one player of the game, but you know how it is. If you're running a business, you know that every missed call is money left on the table, even if you're a realtor or you're a mechanic, things of that nature. If someone doesn't pick up, you find the next person. And that's why you need OpenPhone. It's the #1 business phone system that helps you streamline and scale customer comms, all from an app on your phone or computer. This is OpenPhone. They also boast an AI agent that handles after-hours calls, answers common questions, and captures leads so you never miss a customer again. You don't have to juggle 2 phones to keep business and personal calls separate. Back in the day, local news, we got a separate work phone. It was dope, but you don't need it because there's OpenPhone. OpenPhone is offering Locked On Orioles listeners 20% off your first 6 months at openphone.com/LockedOnMLB. That's OPENPHONE.com/LockedOnMLB. And if you have existing numbers with another service, OpenPhone will port them over at no extra charge. OpenPhone, no missed calls, no missed customers. And one more for the folks over at Gametime. You know how it is. Taylor Swift coming out with an album. She's going to go on tour. Saw something in the comments section about what musical references I'm going to make tonight. I got nothing, man. I got nothing. But Gametime knows that you want tickets. You want concert tickets. and they make getting those concert tickets faster and easier than ever. Prices actually drop the closer you get to showtime, or game time as it were, and you can save up to 60% off with their killer last minute deals. With Game Time, the price you see is the price you pay with no hidden fees. People like to sneak that stuff in last minute, not Game Time. Take the guesswork out of buying concert and show tickets with Game Time. Download the app, create an account, and use code LOCKEDONMLB for $20 off your first purchase. Download the Game Time app, create an account. Terms apply. Redeem code LOCKEDONMLB for $20 off. Download the Game Time app today. Last minute tickets, lowest price, guaranteed. I see the correct answer in the chat. We will award it.
This is the Locked On Player of the Game.
I can't push buttons for the life of me. Riley comments in the chat, Trevor Rogers is the player of the game, no question. Without him, this comeback ceases to exist. He has been exciting. I was going to get on a monologue here. There is a piece out, a blog from Driveline Baseball. Travis Sawchik actually is the author, former Pittsburgh Pirates writer and a very talented writer, breaking down the transformation of Trevor Rogers from this past off season to now. And I'm not going to spoil the whole thing. You should go read it and support it. The assessment that Rogers got when he originally arrived at this lab expected his fastball velocity to be at 84. And we saw him last year was ticking, 88, 89, and really struggling to both locate and effectively get outs with that fastball in the zone. There was no lower body strength, especially compared to his 2021 All-Star campaign. Long story short, this workout program got him off barbell squats, the traditional method for lower body strength, got him in more some plyo lunges, different types of lower body workouts that got him feeling fresh and added much needed velocity to his fastball. And it has made all the difference. He's dominated in the zone with it. The changeup is much more effective. The sweeper plays really well. This is by far the most improved pitcher in baseball. He is looking like an ace right now. This is 11 starts of a sample size. So pretty much 2 months. A month is 30 days. You get 5 or 6 starts a month. He hasn't been up consistently since, well, when he first debuted in Boston. He was up and then he was down and up and down. And now you're finally seeing a larger body of work. It's about a third of a season. And that's enough to get a feel of what he can be. No one expects him to finish the season with a 130 ERA, and he doesn't qualify for any of these awards. However, this is an encouraging sign for a guy who's under team control for one more season. Scoreless streak ends at 17 innings for the Orioles. Ends in the bottom of the 7th with a Ryan Mountcastle first pitch bomb, shading right center field, 96 miles an hour, middle, off of Logan Gilbert. That was the first run that the Orioles got. And Kobe Mayo also sparking a rally with 1 out in the inning. Gets a first pitch, 95-mile-an-hour fastball from Gilbert, middle. Doesn't waste any time. And it alludes to something that Kevin Brown brought up on the broadcast. I'm paraphrasing here what interim manager Tony Mansolino said, that the plate approach had not been concerning. I have my own thoughts on that, but the general paraphrase was that if you take the first pitch, then every night you're going to be down 0-1. First of all, no. Secondly, the best chance that the Orioles had until this point was the bottom of the 4th, in which the O's got Gilbert to throw 20 pitches in an inning. Ideally, if a pitcher averages 20 an inning, you got to start her out by the end of the 5th, more than likely. Jordan Westburg led off that inning with a first pitch line out to right field, and he was the 4th batter through the first 10 outs who had made an out on the first pitch. That's 40% of your lineup just hacking and whacking and not really taking the time to assess what was coming in or adjusting mid-count. Also, if you don't take the first pitch, you also lose the opportunity to get ahead in the count 1-0. You oftentimes lose the ability to even the count at 1-1 once you fall behind. So This is a contentious topic. What happens in that inning after Jordan Westberg lines out? And that actually might have been, it was Dylan Moore. Gunnar Henderson takes the first pitch of the next at bat, hits a hanging slider at 90 miles an hour for a double. Adley Rutschman works a 3-2 count, takes the first pitch, but eventually strikes out. Ryan Mountcastle walks on 5 straight breaking balls, took the first pitch. All this to say, this 7th inning, likely not possible without the contributions of the hitters in that inning who made Gilbert actually break a sweat. So when Kobe Mayo singles on a 95-mile-an-hour fastball middle, that triggers manager Dan Wilson to pull Gilbert, put in left-hander Gabe Spire, and this is when hijinks ensue. Tie ball game 1-1. Daniel Johnson is removed for pinch hitter Jeremiah Jackson, takes the first pitch. 1-0 count. He gets a slider, bangs it off the right field wall, had a good line drive action to it. And Kobe Mayo, an aggressive send by Buck Britton at third base. He beats the relay throw from Josh Naylor. The throw goes into the dugout. Jackson, with plus speed, cruises into third base. He takes home on the throwing error. It's a Little League home run that put the Orioles up 3-1. Just his 10th major league game. And Dylan Carlson got lucky there. Gilbert actually dropped the ball out there in right field on a foul ball, and Carlson was able to single immediately afterwards. Very exciting. Very exciting indeed. So, what else do we have to talk about tonight? Well, the bottom of the order pays off. 5, 7, 8, 9 hitters, all with hits. You're not getting that every night, and of course, the outfield leaves a lot to be desired. But for a team in transition, this was good. They needed this win at least just to prove that they could do it, and they did it. They improved, by the way. They're back to 500 in one-run games. Now 17-17. They are 52-1 when leading after 8 innings. So a clutch win indeed. And they carry on. The O's will look to take the series from the Seattle Mariners. They swept them back in the Pacific Northwest, and the burden falls on the hands of one Tomoyuki Sagano. Right-hander, 9-5 with a 4.24 ERA. He did pitch in that Seattle series, 7 innings pitched, 1 earned run, 5 hits, just the lone home run, which was not to Cal Raleigh. It was, in fact, to a player who's not around anymore, Rowdy Tellez, current Texas Rangers standout. So Sagano had a great outing out there in that win. Logan Evans is his counterpart, right-hander, 6-4 with a 4.36 ERA. Rowdy Tellez actually released 2 weeks after that home run. That is a 105 first pitch on Masson 2. And the O's maybe can show some momentum here. And that'll do it for us here on the Baltimore Orioles postcast. Jackson Holliday with the walk-off winner, RBI double, leads us to the final score of the Baltimore Orioles 4 and the Seattle Mariners 3. Good night, stay safe, and I will see you right back here tomorrow night.